Good morning. Welcome to Monday. This is Monday morning's early morning intuitive guidance, Memorial Day. So I hope that whatever you have planned for this day goes well. Very rainy here, very gloomy, and I'll share a little interesting event that happened because I'm going to do not just the card for today, but also a little extra reading because something occurred that led to me looking in my animal book. Good morning, Peggy. Welcome. You're the first one popping on today. Glad you're here. Welcome, welcome. So we'll just kind of see how the flow of this unfolds. So let's take some time to breathe because I feel like this is a good morning to have some deep breath. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Let your shoulders drop. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Just connecting yourself to Mother Earth through your feet. In through the nose. Exhaling, driving your roots deep into Mother Earth. Connected, solid, centered. Good morning, Cindy. Welcome. Glad you are here. Awesome. People starting to roll in. Some people might be sleeping in since it's a holiday morning. We'll see how many we get on live. And there's Abigail. Good morning. Welcome. Glad you're here. And our card is I think it's a divinely perfect card for today, given that it's Memorial Day. So I'll talk about that card first, and then again I'll do the extra little reading that was triggered by an event earlier this morning. So we're starting with the Virtues Reflection cards by the Virtues Project, which is contemplative cards to help you awaken your spirit and live by your deepest values. And kind of as with yesterday's reading, where some people may be uncomfortable with the more reverent language in some of this, don't necessarily view that as religion. Spiritual doesn't have to be connected to religion. There are very, very spiritual people who are atheists. To me, spirituality is that connection that we have to all that is. Good morning, Judy. Welcome, welcome. Glad you're here. Whether you believe in a divine organizing power or not, still the connectedness of all that is. So that's kind of the perspective today. Glad everybody's finding me. That's good. And our card for today, good morning, Mel. Welcome. Good morning, is reverence. Reverence. Now, again, that's one of those words that probably has connotations for a lot of us, depending on whether and which one of faith we were raised in. And it kind of could have been one of the clubs that we were beaten with regard to organized religion. But I think the definition will kind of help. Good morning, Janine. Welcome. Will kind of help in terms of viewing that through different eyes. Viewing it through different eyes. So again, our word for today is reverence. So another nice deep breath in. Let it go. And then I'm going to give you a real live example from today of reverence. So reverence. Reverence is living with an awareness that we are always in the presence of the Creator and that all life is precious. Creator. View that however you will. Divine organizing force, nature, whatever you think led to all of this being. If you think it's a fluke that we're all here, cool. There's still that acknowledgement that we're all here and that somehow we're all woven into an intricate fabric of life, right? And the more reverent we can be about that, the better we're going to take care of Mother Earth, the better we're going to take care of each other, etc. Good morning, Cheryl. Welcome, welcome. When we practice reverence, we open ourselves to experience faith, love, and deep respect for the mysteries and wonders of life. Now, isn't that a lovely way to think of reverence? A deep respect for the mysteries and wonders of life. We take time in solitude and silence each day to contemplate, to pray, to reflect. And it can just be conversation with all that is. I think that's a great way to go. We seek to discern the deeper meaning of our lives. The beauty of nature restores our souls. We are respectful stewards of the earth. we treasure all life. So in other words, it's not valuing one life over another. It's not the humans are more important than the trees. It's not the bugs have no value. It's not that, all of that. We have to look at that through a different eye. And again, not commodifying things. What value does this thing have for me? How can I use this thing? And there's all those little pithy sayings that, love people, use things. Love people, love things. Love whatever, love nature. Love whatever appears separate from you. Isn't really separate from you, but appears separate from you. So, here's the quote by Albert Schweitzer. Good morning, Gwen. Glad you are here. Welcome, welcome. Good morning to those of you who slipped past as I was reading, because we're up to 7 right at the moment. So, Albert Schweitzer quote, affirmation of life is the spiritual act by which man ceases to live unreflectively and begins to devote himself to his life with reverence in order to raise it to its true value. Isn't that a beautiful definition of it? Let me read it again. Affirmation of life is the spiritual act by which man ceases to live unreflectively and begins to devote himself to his life with reverence in order to raise it to its true value. Albert Schweitzer. And then the practice of reverence, there are I statements here. Pick out whichever one works for you or tweak these to maybe create a mantra for your day. I take time each day to nurture my inner life. I open my soul to life's wonders. I like that one. That's a nice one. I live with an awareness of divine presence. Good morning, Carolyn. Welcome, welcome. I discern the meaning of my experiences. And for those who believe there is no meaning, there's only what meaning we give it. Cool, let's go with that. What meaning do you choose to give your life? What meaning do you choose to give things that happen? So again, I'm going to share a little event from earlier this morning. And you're probably thinking, how can you have events earlier than this? Here we are at Butt Crack 30. But there was an event earlier this morning. Good morning, Beth. Welcome. Glad you're here. I allow beauty to nurture my soul. And I respect the value of all life. So again, do we take care of the world around us? Do we offer our appreciation, guidance, support, love, etc. to the world around us? If we walked around, little kids can be in reverence very easily. Like when they're walking around and looking at new things, they are in awe. What if we walked around our day like that again? I am thankful for the gift of reverence. It consecrates my life. So, that's our word for today, reverence. But I want to share, so I walked over to the window. I started turning on lights in the library here, and walked over to the window and ran the shade up, and I looked out the window onto the driveway, and there sits Mama Duck. All by herself, no daddy duck around, no babies, no nothing, just sitting there by herself. And I'm like, ooh, I hope she isn't hurt. I wonder what mallard duck means. So I whipped out my Dr. Stephen Farmer Spirit Animals book, and I looked up, and I thought, some of these, they have the general thing for the specific animal, duck, but they also have some specific little sections for kinds of ducks. So in here, there's mallard and there's wood duck. So I was very glad mallard was in here. So let me just add this to our reading for today, because she sat out in the driveway, and I just talked to her, opened the window, and I talked to her, and I'm like, okay, are you hurt? Are you okay? What's going on with you? And then I thought, well, I'll just send her some good energy and we'll just see what happens. When I looked out again, she was standing. And as I was watching her, she walked off into the shrubs that are along the driveway. Good morning, Bobby. And she seemed pretty good. I think she just decided to take a rest there. Or she decided to bring me this message. And I want to share this message with you because I think it dovetails with our reverence card very nicely. This is a time of fertility, either literally or metaphorically. It is time to have fun and maybe even get a little silly. And this is useful for me coming on the heels of some text messages back and forth with one of my sisters already this morning, where she's not in a good spot. And I could choose to go down the hayride to hell with her, or I can hold my sovereignty and stay in a good space. And hopefully that will uplift her as opposed to her dragging me down. We'll see how this goes. The time of turmoil has passed, so now you can release any pent-up emotions that have been suppressed. Do whatever is necessary to find emotional comfort rather than trying to deny your need for this. And then under Mallard specifically, it says, whatever project you're engaged in, this is a time for great productivity. Whatever new idea comes to you, develop and pursue its manifestation. And I kind of giggled and I thought, well, isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? And I think I'm going to share the part in here of do whatever is necessary to find emotional comfort rather than trying to deny your need for this with my sister, because I think that might be a piece that is relevant to her today. We shall see. So, what are your thoughts on this? Reverence. Today would be a lovely day, given that it's a holiday, would be a lovely day to walk around and look at your world with reverence and to feel reverence toward moving into more of a life of at oneness, peace, etc. One of the things I think Memorial Day can do for us is to really pay attention to the cost that is involved in war, in fighting, in doing battle. That whole mindset has tremendous costs built into it. And that doesn't mean that we can always avoid that, but we certainly can shift our thought process to greatly valuing peaceful efforts, diplomacy, etc., as opposed to fighting all the time. So that's my 2 cents for today. I hope you have a lovely Monday, Memorial Day. We'll see you again tomorrow. Remember, you are capable of far more than you think you are, including reverence. Bye-bye.